Hey guys, happy Wednesday. So I want to talk about a topic today that is very complicated yet simple, but people complicate it because they don't understand what it is and what it's not. So I wanted to talk to you guys about forgiveness. So when we talk about forgiveness, what does it entail? What is it? What is it not? And why do we need to forgive people? So I'm a visual type of person. I like to give people visuals. So imagine yourself being in prison. You're being in prison and you want to get out. You really want to get out, but you're the one that's holding yourself back from getting out. The other people around you, they're just not interested. They don't care. They're just not willing to whatever. But you're the one that's holding on to the grudges. You're the one that's keeping yourself in prison. It's just the same thing as if the door is open and you're the one holding yourself back from happiness. You want to be happy, but you're holding on to things that you no longer need to hold on to, right? But we might say, I'm not holding anybody in prison, but we all create a prison for ourselves. And the person that you need to set free is yourself. This prison is created by not forgiving. So you keep yourself in prison, in bondage, by not forgiving people. It is a cliche that people say, forgiveness is for you, not them. So it's just cliche, but it is true. So we're holding on to baggage. Forgiveness is just baggage that we're holding on to from people who hurt us, who did us wrong, who did whatever it is that they done to you. You are entitled to feel any kind of way that you feel when somebody does whatever it is that they done to you. You have that right to feel whatever you want to feel. Acknowledge how you feel. But be mindful that the other person, whoever it is, does not have to acknowledge you. They don't have to care. We cannot control other people. You can only control yourself. And that is one of the life lessons that a lot of adults don't understand. We don't understand that we cannot control people. They're going to say whatever they want to say. They're going to do whatever they want to do. And we get mad because they don't act accordingly, or they don't act the way that we want them to act. It is what it is. We hold resentment thinking we are somehow getting the other person back. Revenge is not for you. It's for those of us that believe revenge is not for us, save the Lord. That's for him. That's the Lord's job to avenge people for you. That's not your job. The best revenge that you could do is to be better, do better, and get better. So, lots of times when we sit here thinking that we're being revengeful, spiteful, petty, whatever the word you want to use, we are not, because the other person's not affected. They don't care. They're oblivious. They just don't have no type of reaction to what it is that you're doing. So, what is forgiveness? Forgiveness is releasing the feeling that the other person owes you something. People don't owe you anything. Nobody owes you anything. Nobody owes you an apology. Nobody owes you all these spectacular, extravagant, whatever it is they want. Yes, saying I'm sorry is one of the simplest things that people can do. A lot of people today, for whatever reason, just don't know how. They just don't want to. Whatever. Some people you're never getting an apology for, and we have to be okay with not getting an apology. So you need to free yourself from anger for feeling like this person hurt me and they don't want to acknowledge that they did. Some people don't acknowledge the hurtful things that they did to you because they are ashamed of it. They don't care. They don't know. Unfortunately, there are people that they don't know that they did something to you unless you tell them. And then there are some people that people do things to them, they don't say nothing, and then harboring on something that the other person don't know. This is why communication is key. So if you're one of those people who people do things to you and you don't express that and you're upset because of what somebody did, then you need to learn how to communicate. Y'all might think forgiveness is challenging, but when you understand what it is, then it becomes easier. Because I used to think, oh, that's so hard. I'm not doing that. Why I need to forgive people? And that's what a lot of y'all probably saying. You have to start practicing it. This is something that has to be practiced. Some of us have to learn because we grew up not learning how to communicate, not learning how to forgive, don't even know what forgiveness is. You will feel empowered. Forgiveness is freedom, y'all. Y'all don't know how much free y'all feel when y'all don't have a care in the world about whoever. You can walk right in the room next to the person that violated you and just go about your business and not feel no type of way. Ain't nobody got time for that energy, especially going into 2021. 2020 taught us some very difficult lessons. Life is too short. Forgive and forget. Ain't nobody got time after this 2020 that we all had. Everybody got a story from 2020. If you don't, there's still 20 something more days to go. So we're going to talk about what forgiveness is not. Right? Forgiveness is not reconciliation. So you're not sitting here trying to fix something or reconcile with the person. You're not doing that. If you want to do that, that's fine. But that's not what forgiveness is. So a lot of people, y'all don't just refuse to forgive because y'all think that forgiveness is reconciliation. And it's not. Forgiveness is not living in denial about people's actions. So you're not sitting here saying that they didn't do it. They did what they did. It is what it is. It was done. They did it. Acknowledge it and say, you know what, despite the fact that you did this to me, I'm still going to forgive you so I can move on with my life. I'm not going to let this situation, this altercation, this situationship, whatever it is, hold me in bondage. Right? Forgiveness is not allowing the other person to do the same thing over and over and over. Ladies, please stop letting these men, and men, y'all probably go through the same thing, but I'm not talking to y'all. I am talking to my sisters, my queens, my beautiful ladies. Please stop letting these men continue to do the same thing over and over. Talking about, he ghosted me. And then 3 months later, hey stranger, you back talking to him. And then he ghosts you again. Hey stranger. Ain't nobody got time for no, hey stranger. He left you, you hey stranger him back. That's a game. Ladies, 2021, we're not playing that. So you can forgive him for acting ignorant with you because he thought he could do that to you. That's over with. We're not doing that. Stop letting these people do the same behavior over and over and over to us. Stop it. Forgiveness is not having a consequence for behavior. People need consequences for behavior. The same way we give consequences to our children for the behavior, people need to have consequences for the behavior. Not a punishment. The consequence, for example, would be, for example, if somebody does something to you, and this is where boundaries come into play. A lot of us say we have boundaries, but we really don't. I start to play to people, what boundaries? What are your boundaries? They don't have boundaries. So boundaries. I am sorry that you think that you can speak to me any kind of way, but you cannot. And if you continue to do it, then I'm not going to speak to you. Consequence for yelling at me, and if you do it again, I'm not going to speak to you again. You have to mean what you say and say what you mean. Forgiveness does not magically take away your pain. It just does not. Time heals all wounds, another cliche, but that is so true. The first person that you have to forgive and you must forgive is yourself. We will make mistakes, and we have to forgive ourselves for these mistakes. Right? And a lot of us don't want to do it. Most people have more resentment towards themselves than anybody else. There are two things that our minds unconsciously do when we feel guilty. One of them is we try to repay or correct our mistakes excessively. How many people try to correct a mistake before anybody realizes you made a mistake? And if you feel that there's nothing you could do to make something right, the second thing that you do unconsciously is you punish yourself. You beat yourself up. You made a mistake. There's no roadmap for life. All of us are going on a different path. Some of our paths will cross paths where we meet and that person stays with you for a long time, or you just meet, they stay with you for a reason and season, or you meet and it's just like you met that one time, you never see them again. So stop punishing yourself for mistakes. Life is you make mistakes in life, that's it. So what can we do about this, right? When it comes to forgiveness, we actually can take a moment to self-reflect on your actions. You could do it towards yourself or your others or anyone else. So take a moment to reflect on your actions in the past that you may regret. What is it that you're beating yourself up about? Right? How are you punishing yourself for it? And are you being directly or indirectly punishing other people? So sometimes we indirectly hurt other people because we're hurt about something that we did to ourselves. Yes, hurt people, and it's unfortunate, but it's true. Your feelings of guilt are not going to undo whatever happened. Even more importantly, holding on to this pain is causing more pain. When you hold on to pain, you cause more pain. So the example that I like to give is when you're holding on to a rope without gloves. If anybody's held onto a rope without gloves, you know that your hands are going to burn and eventually feel like on fire. Holding on hurts more than letting go. So I'm going to say it again. Holding on hurts more than letting go. It is okay to let it go now. Release yourself from the burden of carrying it from you, because if you don't, you're going to walk away bloody, bruised, and battered. And I'm not talking about domestic violence. I'm not talking about physically. I'm literally talking about that. So the process is start forgiving others. You need to start forgiving yourself. Start forgiving yourself. Make a list of people you need to forgive and what you want to forgive them for. You don't have to share this list. You could just do it for you. What you need to forgive yourself for should be on there too. Acknowledge the pain that the lack of forgiveness has caused you. How do you feel not forgiving people? Are you bitter? Are you mad? Are you hurt? Are you sad? How it currently impacts your life. Is it more painful than the actual experience? What are some things you learned from that situation? Are there any positives that have come out of the experience? There are positives. You might not see them at the time or might not even process any positives, but they're there. And you need to let go. Release any expectations for anybody. That's the issue and that's the problem today. People expect too much from people. Stop expecting people to be doing whatever you would do. Don't expect somebody else to do it. They do it, great. They don't do it, it is what it is. So don't expect people to forgive you back. Don't expect people to apologize. Don't expect people to behave. If they do, great. If they don't, it is what it is. Forgiveness does not mean that you accept the unacceptable behavior. If the person does not change, it is your responsibility to free yourself from the pain, even if that means cutting ties with people. So you got a choice to make. Me, personally, I'm cutting ties with people. If you don't want to change your behavior, and if your behavior is affecting me, I don't need to be around you, and it is what it is. Forgiveness is all about your personal power. A life well lived is your best revenge, and I said that in the beginning. Take back your power and focus on your desires. Don't do it because, oh, I'll show them. Do it because you want to live your life with freedom and happiness. Yo, the glow up is real, y'all. When y'all release all that crap, the glow up is real. Forgiveness is your opportunity to learn, grow, and heal. And healing is very important. It's one part of the healing process. There's tons of things that you need to do to go through the healing process, but this is the start. You might even find that the negative experiences were blessings in disguise, and we don't see that, but you will see it. But you gotta create the place for forgiveness and acceptance in your heart. Forgiveness is 100% your responsibility, not anyone else's. That is your key to get out of prison. And that is my little tidbit about forgiveness. I am a forgiveness coach. So anybody going through some issues with forgiveness, let me know and we can work on it, because that is one of the first steps to healing. And if you're not ready to forgive, you lying to yourself, or you half assing your healing, your forgiveness, you half assing the healing process. Couldn't think of no other word. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not that person, but stop half-assing your forgiveness. And if you don't know how to forgive, let me know. Come work with me, and we'll get this healing on the road. Bye, guys.